All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this exciting and insightful webinar, Decode Your Design Dreams, presented by esteemed experts from UID, India's premier and most sought-after design institute. We are thrilled to have you all here today for this webinar, where we will explore the endless possibilities and opportunities within the world of design. This is Manini Shah. I have been taking care of admissions and students' engagement for more than 7 years now for UID campuses. And it is truly rewarding to connect with young design aspirants, about like 5,000 plus year on year. So that's quite rewarding and exciting at the same time. And today I am super excited and thrilled to be moderating this webinar with our experts. And we will cover various topics, including interdisciplinary design, shaping the way we interact with innovation, global perspective, guiding you to choose perfect design discipline. So without much ado, let's begin, and let me introduce our esteemed speakers, our faculty team, and my very dear colleagues. Professor Upasna, who is head of our Global Design Program, GDP program, a leading expert in interdisciplinary design education. Professor Niral Desai, if you all can wave your hands so that, oh, the names are already there. Professor Niral Desai, Head of Interaction Design at UID, specializing in digital interfaces and user experiences. Professor Hariesh Sankaran, from Department of Interior and Spatial Design, shaping environments and spaces that inspire. Professor Rahul Bhattacharya, Head of Communication Design, focusing on visual storytelling and brand communications. So we have divided the entire webinar in various segments. So let's begin with the first segment, the future of design forward. Interdisciplinary design is at the forefront of shaping the future of design world. Can each of you please share how design today is evolving to incorporate multiple disciplines and why this is important for aspiring designers? I would like to start with Professor Upasna. What are your thoughts on this?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, interdisciplinary design is indeed reshaping the future of design world by breaking traditional silos and encouraging collaborations across various fields. Today, design is no longer confined in a single discipline. It is dynamic process and that integrates technology, business, sustainability, and human-centric approaches. Design is no longer just about creating visually appealing products or spaces. It's about solving complex problems. Like, for example, in fashion, designers are teaming up with material scientists to create innovative fabrics such as biodegradable textiles or garments with embedded technology. So it's unlimited and it goes on beyond. This also matters because the ability to work across disciplines prepare designers for constantly evolving industry landscapes, especially critical in the world where roles are becoming more fluid and designers are expected to wear multiple hats. I think if anyone would like to add on this, please.
Vaibhav.
Sorry. Yes, please.
Vaibhav.
Manini, you are on mic.
Vaibhav.
Yeah, maybe Harish sir, you can take it up by the time Professor Niral is ready. Yeah.
Good. Taking forward from where what Upasna had said, I think the entire thing about there used to be this time where design was solving wicked problems. I think that was in the 90s and early 2000s. And we've moved forward in the last 10, 15 years into creating experiences, interactions. And when you say interactions, you're immediately going to think of, collaboration between different fields and so on. And the complexity increases as well because the experience is widespread. It kind of intersperses between all parts. I think that's a way forward. That's what the industry is moving towards. That's a world that we are in right now. We are no more solving wicked problems. We are actually trying to create really interactive experiences, engaging experiences, and these experiences move on to lot of different fields. Specifically in terms of spatial experiences, there's a lot of responsive environments that we're working with. And responsive environments is a module that we do in the 7th semester, where we work with engineers, we work with automation, robotics. All of them work together in terms of trying to see how spices respond to us. Like, for example, there are walls. Walls are normally dormant. They're still, but they can start responding to us. How does walls respond? How do roofs respond, and so on and so forth. Similarly, there is biotechnology and design that's come together. It's called biodesign, and that's another module in product design in the 6th semester that they actually work on, where we try and understand how the world around us works, how nature works, and we try and take concepts and ideas from nature and try to mimic them into developing new technology itself. So all of these are have been evolved, practiced, and a part of the curriculum, and that's interesting as well. Niral, you want to add?
Agreed. Yeah, I think interdisciplinary is the very much fundamental to design nowadays, not just to interaction design. So, unlike earlier, when if we talk about like product design, then we work mainly on the form or etc. If you talk about the visual communication, then probably we may think about graphic design and the communication aspect. But things as in how design and technology is getting very much hand in hand, things are much more interdisciplinary than ever before. So even if you talk about automobile transportation, if we see interactive display or the touch display, that is the part of interaction design. If we look into mobile phone, then it has the physical aspect, form aspect, as well as the interface, the one that we play around with. So, and within the realm of interaction design, it really thrives at the intersection of psychology as well as the technology as well as the digital innovation. So to create meaningful, intuitive digital experiences, designers, aspiring designers must dive into human-centered design principles, leveraging psychology to understand how a user will behave and what their motivations might be. It is equally critical to grasp the technical side because whatever we design within the interaction design space, be it mobile applications, web application, AR, VR, etc., understanding how it will be developed, how the algorithms may work, how the systems and the interfaces may function. So this synergy of humanistic as well as the technical perspective ensures that the designs not only look good, as initially Upasna ma'am also said, but it works seamlessly, solving the real world problems. So aspiring designers embracing this interdisciplinary approach is the most essential because it allows you to adapt to emerging challenges and innovate the solutions that resonate with the diverse domains, not just within our field, but across the fields as well.
Definitely not limiting yourself to one domain of design and rather having an interdisciplinary approach. What are your thoughts, Professor Rahul?
My thoughts are slightly different on this, Malini, because I feel that design, among other disciplines, comparatively, we are initially, if you talk comparatively, design has always been interdisciplinary in that nature. So that we should acknowledge that first. And yes, the amount of interdisciplinary or the industry needs have changed over the years. But for example, if I'm talking about communication design, and when we do look at the history of communication design, the kind of print design has always been dependent and changing with the changings of printing technology, for example. So design, because design is a practical field. We've always been producing stuff, right? So like, for example, even before, like in the 90s, interior design was hugely affected, say, by the coming of the tiling industry, and booming of the tiling industry in India, and it shaped interior design in a very big way. And so we always needed to be in touch. But right now, what's happening is that it's the grand age of industrial design, in the sense everything is being scaled up. Companies and investors and markers and everything is trying to scale it up in the maximum possible way to have maximum possible impact. And there, the need and the kind of team building that is happening. is when you're working on projects, right? The kind of team building that is happening is completely different than it used to happen in the past. So from the communication design point of view, for example, right now when we are talking about interdisciplinary, the antenna has shifted, the demand has shifted. You really need to be able to understand the future trends in say technology. You really need to understand say in future trends in society, how say the Zen Z mind frame will work, how the Zen Alpha will receive communication. You need to be not only working with tech people, you need to be working with psychiatrists, you need to be working with community builders to be really be able to work with things that create meaningful impact. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when we even prepare our programs or curriculums, we always say that we are preparing it for the industry 4.0 or society 5.0. So that's very much required, such kind of updates. A following question, like how can aspiring designers stay updated and learn to work in an interdisciplinary design environment? Any quick suggestions?
Yeah, before I answer that, I would like to take a quick pause, assuming that everybody can hear on the platform as well as on the YouTube who have joined us on the YouTube. If you can just get a quick confirmation, please.
Sure, we'll do that.
Anyway, so I think answering to your questions, I think staying updated on the required commitment to continuous learning, they can engage on the easily available platforms like Coursera, Skillshare to explore the new skills across the disciplines of psychology, data analytics, UI, UX. If I talk about interaction design, there are so many platforms and access to professionals are readily available nowadays. So networking with the professionals from the various field can offer a great perspective beyond this seminar that we are having. Attend within the proximity if you have access to design meetups or hackathons or interdisciplinary workshops to collaborate and learning it really by doing, then that can give you a fresh perspective how the interdisciplinary environment works. And apart from that, the traditional approach of reading book can really combine the diverse understanding, starting with something as simple as design of everyday things by Don Norman, or if you really want to understand something from the field of interaction, then AI and design thinking for tech-driven approaches. So these things can be a very first step to getting a first hands-on experience, I would say.
Thank you so much. Any other panelists would like to add to what Professor Niral said?
Just to take it a little like Niral gave a very good kind of a short manual, as to what kind of activities and all that one needs to do that. I just also want to remind the participants that it's a question of attitude. So as long as we remember that we are designing for others, design is always something that you design for others, and for your design to succeed, others liking it and using it and interacting with it is more important than you liking it. So once you understand that, then the internal hunger to seek out other fields, other opinions, you know, like you want to make a website, but how do say developers think about it? You know, like so automatically these questions will start coming in your head. The moment you realize that you are not design is not for yourself, but it is for others. So that's the only thing I wanted to add.
Thank you so much. And with that, we will now like to move to our second segment, which is shaping the way we interact with the next wave of innovation. Design is key driver in the next wave of technological innovations. How do you see design shaping the way we interact with technology, particularly emerging fields like artificial intelligence, AR, VR, etc.? So I would like to start this with Professor Niral Desai.
Yeah, I think
That's
very
your
relevant to
domain.
me. Yeah, very
Yes.
relevant to
That
me,
was the
and
reason.
both the students as well as parents and everyone who cares about their kids. They think like because we deal a lot into the digital design and everything. And in last 1.5 year, everybody has seen the sudden jump and rise into artificial intelligence and AR, VR. Then after studying for 4 years, 6 years, whether we will be relevant to that or not. But what I would like to say is the AI and AR, VR and this upcoming technology has come at such a right time where designers and practitioners can really leverage the capability of such platforms. And rather than just limiting into AI, the new term that everybody is talking nowadays is whatever AI that we have nowadays is just ANI, which is artificial narrow intelligence. Right now, what all AI can do is depending upon the instructions that we give, it gives us the answers or it creates something for us. But the way forward, immediate next future for the AI is going to be AGI rather, which is artificial general intelligence, which is more like what a human can do. We can have our own ideas also. So interaction design plays a pivotal role in creating seamless and accessible experiences in all these technologies. For example, if I have to design voice interfaces, then how voice interfaces or AI chatbot, how can deep understanding of how a human can have a conversation with the platforms and how what kind of patterns of question answering can happen. So that is where how probably Alexa or Google or Siri were answering to our questions 3, 4 years ago versus how do they answer nowadays. You may see a significant difference in how cognitive aspects or the conversational pattern has evolved to more natural kind of conversation, and that is where things are going to go on. Same way for AR and VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, the focus shifts to creating more immersive, more intuitive kind of an environment, which seamlessly blends the physical world as well as the digital realities, whether it's through gamification of the educational tools or realistic simulations, where designers must ensure that these technologies remain accessible, inclusive, and engaging for both designers as well as, most importantly, for users, as Rahul sir rightly said. So, as these fields evolve, designers' responsibility grows to not only enhance the usability but also to consider ethical implications such as data privacy and user well-being also.
Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on this, Harish sir, especially in the area of interior and spatial design? How is the next wave of innovation that we see?
The wave of innovation in terms of emerging tech right now is very nascent, and I think it's going to exponentially grow in the next 10, 15 years. If you look at interaction design in itself, there is five levels of interaction that you actually have. You have body and nature, body and fashion or dress, and body and product, and then you have body and space, and then you have body and technology in itself. So body and technology is something that you implant in yourself, and then there's something neural networks is already Neuralink is actually working on it. So a lot of different new startups that are actually working on all of these technologies. But what is interesting is the hardware part of it, or the interface part of it, is yet to mature, and I think that will probably in the next 5 years it will start, coming up. What we do as part of the curriculum as well in terms of exposure is how do we integrate all of these things? How is this evolution going to happen, and how can these students who are doing interaction design or interdisciplinary projects in their 6th and 7th semesters imagine how this is going to be, and then speculate and move forward in designing those technologies as well. So that's where it moves on. And in terms of spatial experiences as well, like I mentioned, there is responsive. There's also sensorial experiences that actually work in terms of spatial spaces. AR and VR are a huge part of it. It's a vertical in itself. It's an ocean in itself. We do talk about physical environments, and then we talk about virtual environments, and the one in between, the mixed reality, extended reality environments that work on. So so all of those are discussed. All of those are imagined and designed for the future.
And designers are working towards making them more relevant, right?
Yeah. So the tools, the students are aware of the tools. They try and work with the tools. They also try and add up to those tools because most of them are in their primitive stages. People actually add up to it. They try and they go for their masters to work on these right now. And that's a trend.
What are your thoughts, Professor Rahul? Anything you would like to add?
I think it's just that Harish made a very important point when he's been stressing that these technologies are in their nascent stages. He actually used the word primitive, which is more right. And it's not that this stage is going to get over in a year or two. The stage is a long drawn stage. It might we might see it over 7 to 10 years with fast shifting adaptations in each of these fields and greater integration between these technologies. Right now, we look at them as separate technologies. Maybe 5 years later, we will not be looking at them that separately also. What I have observed, is that I need to see two things before I talk about my observation. What is important for design right now is to hold on to one of its fundamentals, that it kind of takes technology to human beings. You know, that has always been the work of design. It kind of creates the human technology spaces interactions. So as the emerging technology is changing, um, and new ideas and new implementations of this technology are happening, for two things have happened. We need to always remember that tech has always been a tool for design, and so we need to keep track of all these fast changing tools and the societal need for these tools. But at the same time, when the moment we say that these are tools for design, we we need to focus on who is the person using the tool, right? So in what I have observed over the years is actually the core disciplinary knowledge has become more and more important, you know, and it is the core disciplinary knowledge that enables you to kind of use the tech in the best way possible. Like, for example, if you're working with AI bots, and Niral rightly give an example of, say voice interfaces, right? And the core, everything that we are making are actually being made for human beings and human societal consumptions. And designers are actually playing the biggest role there, because most of now let's talk from the Indian point of view for a bit. Most of these emerging techs are being invented outside India, right? They're basically coming out of Silicon Valley. But Silicon Valleys like creating technology for their own requirement, for their own ambitions, and their own goals. But how is that tech created by Silicon Valley useworthy and humanized for, say, a middle class Indian person? And that is the main job of the designers right now. So, and that is why designers need to know tech. We cannot be left behind thinking that they are just tools. Yes, they are being tools, but your two tools are being updated and changed every day. So you really need to know the ecology behind the tools right now and be able to forecast the update. So, for
Right.
example, if I'm interested in working with AI, I need to know in which direction AI is moving in the next 2 years. So that element
Who
is
are
very
going to
important,
be the
Malini.
users? Like giving an example, UPI payments in India, how
Yeah.
accessible it has been made for vendors, hawkers, like, even
Yeah,
a
and it's
sabzi wala, you
groundbreaking.
see.
It's
Yes, yes, yes,
groundbreaking,
yes.
right? Like, we've taken innovations that happen in other countries for different reasons. We kind of contextualized it for India. So that's the other keyword that human designers are having to do with technology, not only to humanize it, but to contextualize it for local practical uses.
A
At
deep
the end, it has to be
understanding of who the users
absolutely.
are. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right. Thank you, everyone. Now we move to our next segment, which is global perspective, collaborations across continents. Design is increasingly becoming global, and collaborations across continents are key for innovation. What's your perspective on how design education foster global mindset, and how do cross-border collaborations impact designers today? And let's start with Professor Upasna, who heads our global design program. wherein we give a very unique opportunity through this program to our students to, they don't limit themselves to one domain, and rather they don't limit themselves to one city, one country. So
Absolutely.
over to you. Yes.
Thank you, Manini. Manini, as you know, design has truly become a global language, and cross-border collaborations are now the heart of innovation. So, in design education, it plays a vital role in fostering global mindset and preparing designers to thrive in interconnected world. Like at the moment, you can see internet is something which is like very common, and everyone is using from an urban city to a very rural point. So, design education today often emphasizes cultural sensitivity and diverse perspectives, and students are encouraged to explore design practices from different parts of the world. And also understanding how local traditions, values, and needs are required to shape the design solution. A program like ours, Global Design Program, and I'm very proud of it, which allows students to study and collaborate international on our international settings. These experiences are not only brought in with their design vocabulary, but also to teach and adapt from communication to, these are the very essential traits for global designers. Uh, by blending multiple design disciplines with global challenges like sustainability and technology, nowadays students develop the ability to create solutions that resonate across culture and geographical boundaries. So nowadays, the impact of cross culture and cross border collaborations on designers are going beyond innovations through diversity. It's mostly towards the real world application, building global network, and also the future design lies in collaborations. I'm repeating again because it's not now the competition, but it's the collaboration which is the highlight. Designers who can navigate global context and integrate diverse viewpoints will be at the forefront of innovation now going forward. Um, Global mindset also enables designers to not only adapt for rapidly changing world, but also it actively shapes by addressing challenges that goes beyond borders. So now global design education and cross-border collaborations empower designers to think big, work inclusively, and innovate with a purpose. So for designers, embracing the global approach is also a key to staying relevant and making meaningful impact in the design world. So definitely, I mean, that's my answer to you, Manvi.
Yes. Thank you. What are your thoughts, Professor Rahul?
Um, so of course, Upasna as the head of GDP, she's kind of spelled it out. My observation on this is, Malini, there's something that we normally don't talk about right now, but the 2 years of 2.5 years of COVID-19, it really shaped the way people have been designing. There was already a trend towards globalization of design and globalization of design teams, but the way it transformed after during the lockdown period, how like I have friends who run animation studios in Assam, whose interns are from France, whose music directors are in UK, whose producer is in Japan. I mean, it's crazy, and it's happening at a
Terms like locally we got to hear during COVID, right?
yeah, exactly. So the actually that local, it sounds like funny, but it's a very key term because the trend now. It's not the 90s kind of trend of globalization. When certain global values and all were going across the world. Now, the trend now is to have effective global and local networks that, and so when you are working in this kind of teams, the key thing is to be able to, so your expertise in your local domain also becomes extremely important, as well as because that is the key input that maybe you are bringing in. you know.
True.
But what is also important is your ability to understand 10 other local domains,
True.
with equal sensitivity. And this, when we change domains, it's not just, societal domains, which changing of domains, technology also changes, a lot of things changes. Like even in India, for example, if you are in a tier 1 city and doing conference calls with people in, say, tier 3 cities, you will experience completely different problems and networks and, electricity issues and very, very different things. But imagine that happening in a global scale, and like when I was a part of this food design think tank in that Cumulus started during COVID, it was one of the most global think tanks I was a part of, like from Chile, Brazil, Singapore, Vietnam, France, and of course me being in India. And and actually these experiences are great experiences because design has become cosmopolitan, you know
Right.
the how. And because design has become cosmopolitan, the intermingling is, I think it's a moment to, this is one thing I feel that is one moment to celebrate, actually.
So true.
Additionally, I think one more point I would like to add over here is beyond COVID, access to social media, access to OTT platforms, access to variety of applications really made us a global citizen where people in India are watching Korean TV series, we are following American, European cult classic, etc. That makes us realize about global culture much more than ever before. And not just for interaction design, everywhere. Whenever we are thinking about smart devices which can be used by any people around the world, understanding regional behavior, language preferences, accessibility challenges are the critical aspects when we have to think. So, for designers, for aspiring designers, global collaboration really means to have exposure to varied perspectives, technologies, design practices, which can eventually result into innovation that is both inclusive as well as the future ready.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One question directly to Harish sir. How can students and aspiring designers gain exposure to global design practices? What are your thoughts?
Um, how do they gain exposure? Right now, I think the media is pretty vast, wide. They do have a lot of networking that they actually do. There's a lot on the web, on the internet. That's one part of it. And I think I'm very proud to say what UID has done is very interesting as well. We're members of Cumulus Association and the WDO and IFTI and all of the other
ADI, ACU, all
AI, all
top
of the
global
associations that
level
we actually
organizations in
integrate
the
with.
area of art and design.
There are around 8 conferences across the year that happens, which is available to all our students, accessible to all of them. It's part of their classroom activity. They do get to see all of those. I think the flagship thing is the Ahmedabad Design Week. I think that's where we have all of these members coming into Ahmedabad to share their knowledge as well. So we have a lot of international collaborations with the universities abroad. That's a wonderful initiative, and I think that's really catapulted our and shaped our curriculum and the way we've actually approached design pedagogy to a large extent, and it's fine tuned us as well.
And
Specifically with the
how can
global,
we also forget to mention that WDO is hosting their seminar, like, they're meeting
yes,
here
this time,
at
yeah,
our
yeah,
campus this year.
yes, this
Yes,
time,
yes.
yeah. In February, everybody should be aware of it, and if not, you should register and be a part of it. It's a global event. Yeah, so that's, and for the global design program, what's interesting is the program itself is very interesting and exciting because they do go to 3 different countries. They do see different things. 3 very interesting things that happens. One is they understand the context, the people, behavior, culture of that place itself. They try and understand what are the products that are aligned to that culture. When they look at another culture, they also try to understand their own culture, the Indian perspective of how it works in India and what kind of products works and doesn't work and stuff. The third one is the kind of technology that they actually work with. They go to Milan, they look at food design, which has been there for almost 15, 20 years right now, where they've been working on food technology and food design, how is food packed and stuff. How is it presented? it's a huge part of design. We still don't have an active food design program over here in India, but that's a first-hand experience for them to understand how that works. Also, in terms of responsive fabric that happens in the UK, and in terms of universal design practices that's there in Australia, I think those are very good exposures for the students as well. When they come back, I think it's very good if they get to implement all of those things, try to see how Indian society and culture works as well.
I would like to add one more point.
Yes, please.
Yes. So at GDP, students like Hari sir mentioned that they travel abroad. So I would like to mention students have the opportunity to study at top design schools across countries like Australia, Europe, UK, or USA. And this kind of exposure allows them to experience varied design philosophies and industry standards. And this is something which we are very proud of, because you might have heard study abroad program in different universities, which just happens to be one country or maximum two, but we do provide three different countries. And that is something which has maximum growth, and you learn from different faculty, international faculty, and the approaches are very different, and how they are equipped with all these technologies. This is something which is the core of GDP. Like, we are collaborating on such a higher level, which is unique in the world at the moment. No institute or colleges right now, they are providing three universities on their programs. So definitely, I'm really proud to say that out loud. So thank you, Manini. Yes,
Absolutely. And unlike any other semester exchange program, this is much more planned, internationally benchmarked, right? And designed by, I would say, 4 top institutes globally,
Right. This
right?
is the Pancho going into any of the classes in Three Idiots. This is like getting into any of the universities and sitting in one of these
Yes,
programs to
yes,
understand them.
And you actually
Definitely.
become part of that institute. You interact with students from so many countries, faculty from so many countries, learning from in global level platforms like classrooms, labs, and studios, knowing various techniques, technology, and a lot of scope of collaboration here.
Also the faculties who go in for exchange, who teach over there, people who come
Yes.
here. I think that's
Yes.
wonderful.
So tremendous exchange happens through our GDP program. All right, then. Thank you, everyone. And we move to our next segment, which is guiding you to the perfect design discipline where passion meets purpose. There are so many design disciplines to explore. How can an inspiring designer identify their ideal path, like that sweet spot where passion meets purpose? Who would like to go first here? Harish, sir.
This is like choosing flavors in a Baskin Robbins. I'm sure it's a tough thing for most people, but what happens is through the foundation program, what happens is they do try and understand, or even during the preparation for a design school, they try and understand their purpose. They try and understand their inclinations. Is it three important directions that you can actually look for is, am I interested in space? Am I interested in clothing and textile and fashion? Or am I interested in graphic? Or am I interested in products? Four specific areas, if you can, square
4
down.
major domains.
Yeah, major domains. And then you look at, even if you can, through a process of elimination, come down to 2 of it, I think that's a good thing to do. And that probably is a very genuine, feedback that your mind gives on 2 different things. Now you can decide which one would you want to do it for the undergrad, and which one would you want to do it for the postgrad, or how do you want to translate it into a slightly multidisciplinary educational experience as well. So that's kind of an interesting area to work with, because most designers right now and in the future are going to be multidisciplinary designers. You probably have a base bachelor's which you have in a certain field, and then you probably go into practicing something else in terms of your work and practice itself. Then in the master's you can explore another field as well. Now then it becomes a little more interesting, because essentially we are carriers of narratives. We create narratives, and we try to tell stories through the kind of experiences in terms of textile product, a space, or graphic in itself. So the core should be, the base should be pretty well set, and I think that's the way forward. If you are still confused.
True, true. Also, I mean, round the year we are open for counseling. So, in case if you have dilemma choosing between specializations program, feel free to reach out to us, and we can have detailed counseling. We can connect you to our esteemed faculty members as well. Moving to the next panelist, what are your thoughts? Who wants to go? Professor Niral?
Yeah, maybe I can go. I think finding a niche in the design begins with the curiosity. You can start by exploring your area of interest. If you are interested in something like a technology, storytelling, problem solving, which goes for everyone in general, human behavior, then interaction design can be the space which uniquely combines this all these elements that I talked about, enabling you to address challenges in the sectors like healthcare, fintech, education, entertainment. So, interaction design is a discipline where understanding people and leveraging technology can converge to create impactful solutions. So, all these multi-billion dollar companies or the unicorns that we have heard of nowadays, they thrive on interaction designers, and all the apps and websites are the starting point that you may have think of. So that is where so if one is really interested into these kind of areas, they can think of getting into interaction design. But as Harish rightly said, so first year as a foundation really gives them an opportunity to understand various aspects of the design and understanding the foundation. I think key thing for anyone if they want to decide on to where do they want to go to, then the experimentation is the key thing. Immerse yourself into various basic projects, try to understand, learn from some industry expert or so these kind of sessions. As Manini ma'am already said, they can reach out to us as well. So based on that, your passion will align with the purpose when you find a domain where your work drives you into the meaningful change that you wish to bring it out.
Thank you so much. Professor
So
Rahul?
yeah, I remember we having a conversation yesterday, Manini,
Yes,
where we were talking about design being this wonderful fields where you need separate doors to enter through, but once you enter, you can also move freely inside that
from,
field, you know.
yes, yes, yes.
And I think it's very important to kind of highlight that, especially for uh, aspiring design students, because sometimes people take a lot of pressure that, and I think it's important to not take that pressure and to enjoy the journey. If I have to talk about communication design as such, then we always say that the key to communication design is a passion for storytelling, and especially the passion to express storytelling visually. Uh, and that has been the core of understanding communication design over a long time. Visual, but storytelling, the idea of a brand visually out, storytelling, any kind of communication, right? But right now, actually, the scope has also changed because it is gone beyond the scope of just storytelling. And as Harish pointed out earlier in the webinar, design is also focused on generating experiences. Now, this everybody that's a common ground, and that is also what in the interdisciplinarity that we were talking about before. So, but the passion for storytelling still remains crucial. The delivery of the way we deliver the storytelling, that has changed. We are not necessarily storytelling. We are maybe co-creating stories, and but that passion is there. It has to be a storyteller, to kind of even go and create platforms in which people can co-create stories and co-create narratives. So that remains important to communication design. Uh, However, in terms of but that is also something that maybe Niral will not say that storytelling is not important to interaction design at all. You know, uh, I mean, nobody, Upasana will not say that, storytelling is not important to fashion design at all. So design is, that's why this is a unique field, and what to nurture, uh, I would say, the important thing, because the journey is long, it's a 4-year education and then a lifetime of practice. So I think the core things would remain, say, curiosity, observation, you know um, uh, because without observing and without being curious, you are not actually in the game. Like everything that we talked about now, the different changing technologies, interdisciplinary teams, or everything that you can actually partake and actually be part of, is only if you have a very curious exploratory mind, and design is, we are in the world of making, right? So we are one of the few disciplines that have very strong theoretical groundings as well as very strong practical groundings, and it's a very rare combination. Medicine has it, architecture has it,
But
maybe
when you said medicine, sorry, I would like to add something. I think we were discussing about this yesterday only, that if you go in
yeah,
the
yeah,
medical
exactly.
area, right? If you are a dentist, you only get to check teeth. It's not the case
Yeah,
with
so
designers.
medicine has this very narrow gate closings. Though it's a wonderful, though it is also very project-based learning, good mixture of theory and practical knowledge. Like engineering doesn't have enough practical knowledge. They don't have enough studio production work. Like at a final year of as an engineer, you don't actually build a bridge. You know, but in design, we actually have to build what we are thinking of. So that mixture of learning, to be curious and to be a maker, to be able, wanting to, having the fire inside you to express your ideas out, and that can be in fashion, that can be in interior, that can be in interaction, that can be in communication. I think it is, and as it is, we are looking at interdisciplinarity. As it is, we are looking at people who have, say, done a bachelor, BDes in communication and doing a master's in interaction, and doing and becoming a complete interaction designer. So don't take that pressure. Don't take that pressure of preparing yourself only for one department. Don't narrow yourself down so much. Be ready to explore a much broader world. That would be what I
That
would say.
is absolutely. And
Classic example are the heads of communication design, both Rahul and Sambit. One is a space and a lifestyle accessory designer who's heading communication. They've made a name for themselves in the field that they're actually at.
yes,
And yeah.
right. We are having a lot of questions. So quickly, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to talk about just a minute. I'll just take you all through the two-tier evaluation process of UID quickly, and then we will take all the questions. I mean, answer all your questions. So yes, UID, India's premier and most sought after design institute. As you can all see on my screen, we are from those few institutes who are member of all top organizations globally like Cumulus, IFTI, WDO, ADI, ACU. And we have two campuses. Ahmedabad campus is a constituent college under Karnavati University, wherein our second campus, which is
Just a second, ma'am. Your presentation is not on.
not visible. Okay,
No.
I'll reshare
Yeah.
again. Just give me a minute. Is it visible now?
Yes, now we can see. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So all the programs that we design are in, with strong professional emphasis and in close partnership with the industry. With two of our sprawling campuses, Ahmedabad campus is a constituent college under Karnavati University, wherein the NCR campus is in collaboration with GD Goenka University, Gurugram. And the curriculum foster a powerful synergy between traditional art, craft, and techniques to the latest technologies like AI, AR, VR, MR, XR, 3D printing, unleashing infinite creative opportunities. Just all right. Quickly about the programs. So we have 21 programs that we offer at UG and PG level under 7 specialized departments. And the information is available on our website. So basically A to Z in designing that we offer. And you can go through each program, what are the areas covered, what are the career prospects, do a bit of comparison yourself. And then anytime you require any guidance, any counseling, feel free to reach out to us. Choose the right institute for yourself, because you are at a point currently wherein it's very important for you to choose the right institute that can support your design journey in a right way. When we talk about UID, of course, 20 plus programs, 45 plus advanced labs and studios that supports your creative journey, learning by doing, from 1200 plus recruiters globally to 30 plus international collaborations. And also we have 200 plus full-time faculty members. We also follow a 13:1 student faculty ratio, which is internationally benchmarked. We also have a mentor-mentee system, because today, after taking the counseling, you might decide on which discipline you want to choose. But in your this journey of 4 years of bachelor's or 2 years of master's, you will constantly require guidance from your mentor in terms of choosing the right elective, right projects that can, enhance your learning, that aligns with your further interest area, and choosing the right exit, whether you should go for placement, take a bit of experience, or you should go further and continue your academic journey, go for masters, or you already have an idea and you're ready for startup. So for that, mentor-mentee system is very important, which we follow. So look out for institute which sets all the parameters right for your this journey to become a successful designer, future designer. We have a lot of questions around the two-tier evaluation process of UID. So quickly, we'll tell you the application window for admissions 25-26 is closing soon. And UID, just like any other institute of repute, has only one single round of general category admissions that we do every year. So if you haven't applied, apply at the earliest. The tier 1 examination, that is design aptitude test, is scheduled to take place in online mode on 25th of January from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And tier 2 has 2 components. If you opt for offline mode, for Ahmedabad, for Ahmedabad aspirants, it is mandatory for you to appear for this examination in offline mode. But do not worry, we have kept the dates which are post your boards, and it's a one-day process. So you can book your convenient date from the 15 days window and come down here to appear for situation test and portfolio evaluation. For NCR candidates, you have 2 options. Either you can appear for tier 2 in online mode, which is portfolio evaluation and personal interview, PEPI, which will happen between 27 January to 2nd February. Rest, in case if you want to appear for this in offline mode, you can choose to come down to our NCR campus between 2nd April to 8th April. The slots are available on first come, first serve basis. So book your slot at the earliest so that you can appear for this examination at your convenient date and slot. And we have released detailed guidelines about both the tiers. It is also there on our website. So please go through that. And in case if you have any further query, please feel free to reach out. And for those students appearing for NCR examination, tier 2 examination in online mode, the final results we will promptly announce in February itself. Those students appearing for this examination in offline mode for Ahmedabad or NCR, the results will be announced once the tier 2 is completed in April, promptly after the last day, the last slot, that is 10th of April. And about the selection of program, we do understand that you might have dilemma choosing between programs. So do not worry, up until July, when we welcome the new energies on our campus through our induction program, you are free to change the program just by dropping us an email. So in case if you need counseling, as I said, feel free to ask for as many as counseling so that when you start your journey in July, you are ready or sure about the path that you want to choose. Also, because we're conducting that on 25th January in online mode, and 60% of weightage for UG student is on drawing part, and 75% for PG students will be drawing part. So to ensure that you get familiar with this online platform of examination, we are also conducting mock test, and any one mock is mandatory for appearing for DAT in online mode. The first one is already done, which was on 3rd of January. The second one is scheduled tomorrow, that is 12th January. Tomorrow is Sunday, and we have intentionally kept it in the evening time. So in case if you have any classes, examination, do not worry. The examination is taking place between 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So at least it's just for you to get familiarized to this online platform. So do appear for tomorrow's mock. Yes, and now we are ready to take questions. There's a question. Do we have to clear tier 1, then we can register for tier 2? No. So it's not that shortlisted candidates will appear for tier 2. We have a weighted system very well explained on our website. So all the students who appear for that will get to appear for tier 2. And then the final results will be announced based on your performance in all the 3 components, 2 tier of the evaluation process. Can 11th grader give mock test as a practice? Yes, you can. Please reach out to our admission team. We will give you dummy IDs for you to practice our DET exam, our mock test for DET exam. What subjects or topics must be covered for the multiple choices? So 40% of weightage is on MCQ type question. Any of the faculty member would like to answer? What are the type of questions? Although the sample papers are available on the website, so do check sample papers for you to know the pattern that we follow, the kind of questions that we ask. But anyone want to add here, what are the type of questions we have? Harish sir?
Harish has a good experience about that.
So there would be basic math, physics, general knowledge questions. That would be there. A little bit of understanding of design personalities, also, and a little understanding of products, brands, logos. Not too complex. You should be able to manage. The mostly general knowledge.
Yeah, I think other than that, something to prepare, they are a little bit of logical and analytical problem solving also, a little bit of data visualization so that you can understand how to read the data from the charts and graphs and tables, etc.
Data interpretation, yes. There are a lot of questions. Global Universities program is part of regular course or it's separate curriculum. So even if you have not opted for GDP, if you go for any other program that we offer at UID, you will have tremendous opportunities coming your way through our collaboration with 30 plus top institutes globally. So you can pick up any opportunity like a semester exchange, summer school, international level exhibitions, competitions, fashion shows. So there are a lot of opportunities that you can pick up. What subjects or topics this we have covered? I think most of the questions we have covered. Can we change the discipline in second year? So the first semester is going to be complete common foundation. From second semester, we start introducing few subjects that aligns with your area of interest, the program that you have opted for. So it is not possible to change once the second semester begins. So in your offer letter, we will mention the process of how to change before the second semester starts. So the final window, in case if you want to change, will be before the second semester starts. So that's the timeline for that. I think we have covered all the questions. Can a student choose the main line like interior design and choose any other designing inside? Of course, any of the faculty member would like to answer this about the interdisciplinary electives?
Within the spatial experience, spatial design program, you do have three programs, three courses that are there. One is the interior architecture design. The other one is spatial experience design. The third one is furniture and interior design. The third course mentioned furniture and interior, focuses specifically on furniture. All 4 years, there will be a huge emphasis on furniture design in itself, a little less on interiors, but your understanding of interiors is required if you need to design furniture. Furniture is not just chairs and tables, it's also partitions, facades, and all of those that actually windows and all of those things actually come in. Spatial experiences, spatial narratives. How do you tell stories and how do you work with phygital environments where you do have digital experiences within physical spaces, spatial retail spaces or hospitality or commercial spaces that happen. Interior architecture is a little between spatial experience design is entirely interior. Furniture design, as mentioned, is furniture. Interior architecture and design is between the outside and the inside. So it's a space which has got urban interventions, urban context that you actually work with. You also work with open, how do you say, common spaces that actually happen along with interior spaces. So that's the area that works on. There's a lot more emphasis on structure, on a lot more on architecture, spatial design in interior architecture and design. Interior spatial experience design works a lot more on identity, storytelling, narrative, branding, and the interior experience in itself. Furniture is clear furniture. You'll explore materials as part of it, wood, metal to a large extent, and how do you actually work with flat pack furnitures, or how can you design contract furnitures or so on. Yeah, if that gives a perspective.
Yeah, and all the programs that we offer, you have, because there are a lot of questions coming around whether they can choose subjects from any other domain or not. Yes, we do have interdisciplinary electives that you get to choose. Apart from that, you also have an option to choose transdisciplinary elective. You want to learn a subject, you are a student of communication design, you want to learn subjects from fashion, interior, product, yes, open to it. Also transdisciplinary, you want to learn subjects from management, law, liberal arts, so you do you have such options too.
We are prototyping interdisciplinary design project in UID for the first time. So it's not only taking an elective, but actually to be part that gives an opportunity to be a part of interdisciplinary teams right in your student times. So that's that's a very big thing, and increasingly from the communication design point of view, Manini, I need to spell out one thing like Harish spelled out for interiors, that we are also offering micro specializations inside communication design, and that's come our direction over the last 1.5 years, because students are coming in, and communication design is a very, very broad field in terms of your end work as a designer, in terms of the jobs that you get, and in terms of the practice that you do. So we realize that we have demand, and even from the industry and from the students who are purely graphic design oriented, and that's a very important field. And from graphic design and branding and advanced brand storytelling is like one kind of a documentation, one kind of a micro specialization that we are giving. We have then motion graphics, basically experiential design, when you're combining AR, VR with projection mapping, motion graphics, and you get to build that separate portfolio through a series of layered electives, right from your fourth semester onwards. So typography doesn't end with typography. There is a kinetic typography elective in your higher semester. There is an advanced typography elective in your higher semester. So you can continue building that, go through the trajectory part. Even we have, say, advanced UX for our students. So UX is another place where communication designers, that's one place where there's a great space where interaction and communication designers work together. And there is a lot of our students have, so between this between UX, experiential design and graphic design, you get to choose and build minor level portfolios and customize your own journey inside the department. So that is also kind of something that we need to highlight.
Right,
Um,
right.
Mani, I
Yes,
would like to add something here because global design
sure.
program actually follow interdisciplinary learning, and from second year onwards, they have streams they can opt for, and in those streams, you have committed a number of hours where you understand your foundation very well, and then you jump into a collaborative classroom where you are exchanging your ideas with interior students, product students, VC students, or fashion students. And when you go abroad, you get, in fact, more understanding how to be in interdisciplinary scenarios where you are collaborating with students, those who are studying abroad, and in a forum where you are discussing about different disciplines together and merging and creating new ideas. So I wanted to add this for a global design program. Thank you, Mahani.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, all our panelists, for sharing your valuable insights. We, I mean, as we come to close today's webinar, let's quickly recap the key takeaways. First, we have learned about immense value of interdisciplinary design, how combining diverse fields and perspectives can drive the future of design forward. We also explored the power of global collaboration, emphasizing how working across continents can enhance creativity and innovation in the design world. Lastly, we touched upon the crucial journey of finding the perfect design discipline where passion aligns with purpose, enabling you to make a meaningful impact in your chosen field. We hope you feel inspired and equipped to embark on your design journey with a deeper understanding of the endless possibilities ahead. Thank you once again, all our panelists.
Manini, before we
Yes.
finally went up, there is a last question with a please to answer, and that is towards MDes. Uh, so, I mean, we know the focus this time was different, but to the person who asked the question, I just want to say that UID has a very robust MDes program. And this year, with the kind of changes we've built into the program, so one of the things about UID is that we have the eyes on the ground and we update things very fast according to the requirements of all stakeholders involved. And so do connect with Manini and the rest of the team and get more information about the MDes. But UID is now a very good university to come and study your MDes in.
Yes. Thank you all once again, and especially our speakers for taking this time and inspiring the future designers. So that's about it. Stay curious and feel free to get in touch with us anytime for knowing anything and everything around design. Stay creative and continue to pursue your design dreams. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you, everyone. And in case if any of your questions were unanswered, there's a single number you can reach out to us. I'll also share on the screen before ending so that you can note down in case if you don't have. Otherwise, it's there on our website as well. So these are our contact information. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes. So we have a very dynamic and I mean super supportive admission team. You can reach out to them on 9266663225 or you can email them, and our website is uid.edu.in. You can find all our details on our website. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. So stay in touch and all the best, everyone.